All right, so we're back. I'm going to go through, some books at home. Have some books. Um, they're fun. I mean, I enjoy reading. You can learn a lot from reading. I like the more, instead of just a technical manual, I like a good story where there's technical tidbits. Okay? And I'm going to apologize now. I take these videos on my phone. I'm not doing all the editing shit, so I don't have a full, little studio set up with the microphones and the lighting and the cameras. I'm usually on my porch making these videos, but today I needed some space, so I'm at the kitchen table. So I'm going to start with some books. One of the first ones that I enjoy was Hatchet. Okay? Classic tale of survival. And, there's like 4 or 5 books in the series. And they do get pretty good. There's some useful tidbits. And this guy's a real outdoorsman, so he knows what he's coming, where he's coming from, and what he's talking about. Woodcraft and Camping. Nessamuk. This is George Washington Sears. Okay, these are written in like the 1850s, 1860s. Let me look. I mean, obviously they're reprinted. I don't have original copies. But, this was an old man who loved being out in the woods, made a 10-pound canoe that held, like 200 some pounds. Held him and his gear, and he'd go for weeks at a time. The Lost Ways. Everybody's talking about this. It just came from Amazon this week. I haven't even got to really read it yet. Friend loaned me a copy for a few days. I flipped through it. Some of the old recipes, there's good stuff. Some of my favorites, the American Boy's Handy Book, the Field and Forest Handy Book, and then Shelter Shacks and Shanties. Now, these are from D.C. Beard, like the guy that founded the Boy Scouts. So there's some really cool stuff in here. And I mean, this was the American Boy's Handy Book. So he's got it broke down by season of different stuff you can do. How to camp without a tent. They're taking barrels and making a little dugout. How to make the stoves, cots. It just how to fish, how to make gigs. He tells you about animals. Here's how to make a little boat, little dinghy. We might call it a John boat today. How to upgrade it to a little houseboat. So, there's how to make puppets, how to make kites, just all kinds of stuff to do in here. The Field and Forest Handy Book. I haven't flipped through this one a lot, but same thing. Just so much useful knowledge. How to make knots, how to make boats, how to do all kinds of stuff. These are like what the Boy Scout books are written off of. Shelter Shacks and Shanties, just all kinds of different stuff you can make with natural material. So in a survival situation, a bushcraft thing, that's a good book. How to Stay Alive in the Woods. Speaks for itself. Just all kinds of survival. Encyclopedia Wilderness and Outdoor Skills. The Homestead Builder. Wilderness Living. Wildwood Wisdom. This is a good one. I mean, there's just so many facts and just so much information in this one. Forest Life. canoeing, fishing, hunting, bushcraft, meditations. He tried to be a poet, just all kinds of stuff. So these are just some of the books that I have on the topic. Nothing special that you can't order yourself off Amazon. But definitely very valuable information. And like I said, especially like, where'd they go? The Lost Ways everybody's talking about, that's like supposed to be a big thing. The woodcrafting camping. He gives a story. I was out doing this and that, and it's like you're riding along with him. It's kind of fun. Hatchet. I'm sure everybody read this in like 5th or 6th grade. Okay? Go ahead and laugh. But it's just a good story. It's easy to read, and there's a lot of tidbits. And like I said, the other books, as he matures and goes through life, there's a lot more skills involved in those. So there's some of the reading material, just to give you some other ideas and perspectives. I have not read all of these. I was taught in college, the smartest man in the world doesn't remember everything, but he does remember where he found the knowledge, or knows where to acquire the knowledge. So having all these books as reference never hurts. No, you can't take them all with you if you have to bug out or, in a situation. But reading them, putting them in your head, never hurts. Another tidbit, get these on Amazon, Wild Cards. They're playing cards, for Camp Boredom. And it gives a game. And it also, it's just a reference of what's edible. So that's something I keep in a book or in one of my bags. But once again, useful information.